we're with Australian brothers who call themselves Lambros, who are running the length of the UK for Cancer Research UK. What day are you on?
We're on day 19 today.
How did it go? Talk to me about it.
It's been super tough so far. So first we ran through Scotland, a lot of hills, and that was challenging. So my ankle was, I don't know if you can get a zoom in on that, but it blew up. I hit the side of the deck and ankle ligaments torn. Lock shins have been playing up since the day. So he called our physio back home in Australia. He reckons he should be off legs for 8 weeks, but obviously we're going to continue on.
Hang on. How many days have you got left?
We have, after today, hopefully 16 more days to go. So we're over the hump. We're over halfway.
So 16 days left and your ankle's gone. Your shins are gone.
Yeah, my shins are out. So as Steph said, we called the physio called us and he was asking us a lot of questions back in Australia and he just said, yeah, you've got to take a couple of weeks off. Like, it's not looking good. It looks like it's bone. But yeah, nonetheless, we're going to be back out here tomorrow and having a massive crack at it.
Lads, how is that even possible? What's going on in your heads?
I don't think there's anything going on in their heads. That's the issue.
We like to call it the rocket fuel. The rocket fuel is the why. So we're out here to raise money and awareness for cancer research. So we know there's a lot of people doing it a lot more challenging than us right now. And I guess that's what motivates us and inspires us to keep pushing every day. We call it, well, our last name for reference is Lambros, so Lambros, and then Army. So we're trying to get an army of people behind and raise awareness and money for cancer research. So we lost our grandmother to disease. We saw the detrimental effects that had on her health over a decade, getting treatment on and off. And it was devastating seeing her pass away from cancer. And our other grandmother has gone in and out of thyroid cancer treatment. So we're doing it for her as well back at home. And we just love running. We love to challenge ourselves. We want to inspire people. But that's what's going on in our head, I guess. We call it the rocket fuel. So our rocket fuel is to raise awareness. We know people are doing it tougher than us right now.
So the rocket fuel is someone in your family has obviously suffered from it and someone is suffering right now. That's pretty deep and people might not get to see that side of you lads. They might just see the aggressive running every day. You know, explain to me the emotions, understanding like someone in your family has been affected by cancer. Like I seen you looking into the distance then. I don't know if you were reminiscing of like memories. I don't know what that was. What explain to me? Like I need to know that rocket fuel.
Yeah, it's really tough. Our grandma, who we did lose to cancer, was from the UK. So that was a big reason why we did come here and try to raise as much awareness as possible for cancer research. Obviously, we're not even from the UK ourselves, but we're raising money for a UK charity because we know the impact that cancer research can actually have on saving people's lives. But back to the rocket fuel conversation, it's one of those things where it's like, we have gotten to the point in our lives where we're willing to essentially give it all, like essentially give our lives to literally do everything we possibly can for the cause. And any pain and suffering that we go through is nothing in comparison to what a cancer victim does. We've had thousands of people who have reached out to us. We've run with hundreds of people who have terminal cancer back in Australia and also a couple now in the UK. And running with someone who has terminal cancer and who has been told that their life is going to be limited to the next 5 years is one of the most powerful things you can possibly hear. And running beside that person, it's almost like a spiritual feeling where you get out of that situation, you give yourself a bit of perspective and you think, wow, no matter how much pain I'm in, I can never even imagine what it's like getting that news from a doctor saying you only have a limited amount of time to live. So that's our rocket fuel. That's why we do what we do. We love carrying on and screaming and yelling and shouting on camera, but deep down, we really, truly are trying to do a great thing for people who matter most.
Can you talk to me about your grandma? Tell me about her. Tell me the beautiful things about her.
Yeah, she was a beautiful lady, looked after us as kids growing up, always used to come around. We actually made like a penny series, so a 20-day countdown, and a couple of the videos in there were dedicated to her. So she would come around and would play Super Mario Bros. On the Wii, so we have like a lot of memories there. She used to come around, bring us this bun from Baker's Delight. It's like a bakery in Australia. every weekend and bring that around, and would always have that with a cup of tea for lunch and a big slice with butter. So yeah, she was just a beautiful lady. And our other grandma, who actually has gone through treatment recently, she's honestly like a second mum to us. She's looked after us every single day when we were kids. Our parents were both working full time, so they would drop us off in the morning. She would take us down to the shopping centres, and as brothers would, we would always carry on and cause trouble, like running around the streets of our local shopping centre. And yeah, she was just an amazing person and like our second mum. So seeing her push through that and fight, I think that's really, from a young age, got this burning desire in us to also dig deep when times are tough, like it is at the moment with these injuries on the road, just to really find something deep within us to just keep being a fighter, I guess.
Coming back to the challenge, what is the hardest part of the whole challenge?
Oh,
Believe it or not, the hardest part is running a marathon every day next to your brother. No, it's not. It's really cool running next to your brother. We get along super good. The hardest part, and not a lot of people actually, I suppose, would fathom this, is actually the part outside the run. It's the rest period. So even at the moment that it's 30 degrees here in Manchester, we might be out on the road for 8 to 9 hours and the run's super hard and you feel like you're boiling hot. But the hard part is the psychology, knowing that you're going to get back to a van that doesn't have air conditioning and it's going to be super hot and you're not going to be able to sleep. And then you check your Whoop score night after night and it's telling you that you need 80 to 100 hours of recovery. And then the next night it's like 105 hours. And then the next night it's 115 hours. And it's like, wow, your body's just breaking down like time after time, day after day. So the period after the run when you're just trying to recover is super tough. What do you think? What's your hardest part?
yeah, I think the fueling and also the sleeping and just living conditions inside a motorhome so different. Like if you had to run a marathon every day around your block at home, that would be hard enough as it is. But at least you get to go home to the comfort of your home, have, you know, a cold shower, get some good food in, sleep in your own bed. When you're going back to a motorhome that it smells like body odor, you can't sleep because it's too hot. It's just grim living condition. You're eating like tuna and cold tuna and rice, cold instant coffee.
That's insane.
I think it's really interesting. People see us run down the street and the looks you get, it's almost like they've seen a ghost. And, you know, we're sweaty, we look terrible. We look like we're so burnt. But it's really inspiring. We've actually had a lot of people reach out and saying, they said to us, like, we have motivated them to get out of bed. And having people say that to you is even motivating for us to just keep going. It's really, really cool. Like, it's almost like a ripple effect. It's like we're motivated, we get up, and then we help motivate others. They get up, and then they motivate their friends. So it's really, really rewarding intrinsically.
It's beautiful to see. Have you had any memorable interactions with strangers across the run?
On our Australian run, we had a very interesting interaction. Yeah, I think I almost had to bring that up. That's pretty crazy. The most strange interaction we had. So we were in the middle of the desert and we were running and there was nothing around for about 150 kilometers in each direction and no cars around us. We're on this just gravel dirt road and we see this like figure in the distance and we thought it was our videographer and we got like closer and we're like, oh, he has like long hair. What the hell's going on? And then we get closer and this guy is wearing like the ancient Roman like thongs, like the ones that strap around the back of your foot. And we're like, oh, what's going on? Anyway, then we get closer and he's got like a white robe on with like a red sash. And he looked exactly like Jesus would look. Because you've seen photos of Jesus.
I've seen photos of Jesus.
And he looked like Jesus, right? And then he came up to us. He's like, oh, hey, boys, how you going? And we're like, oh, really good. And he's like, can I run with you for a K? And we're like, yeah, our van's just like 500 meters up the road. Run as long with us as you want. We were just shocked we saw someone out in the middle of nowhere. And he goes, and we were like, oh, what's your name? And he's like, Jesus. And we're just like, whoa, hold on a second. Like, nah, like there's no way. And then anyway, so we got to the van and we're like, oh, just wait 5 minutes. We're just going to get a snack and then we're going to continue on 8 kilometers to the van when it goes forward. And we had a snack for literally like a minute. And he was gone. And it was the craziest thing. We got this photo of him it was from behind when our reaction when we first saw him. And we thought it was fake. We actually thought it was fake. At the end of the day, we're like to our team, like, Was that actually real? Like, did you guys see that Jesus guy? Like, what's going on? And they're like, yeah, no. It was
So
actually real.
everyone's seen it.
Did a couple of speeches at schools after the run, and we explained the story, and no one believed it.
No one will believe that.
No one will believe it. But then we put the photo up on the screen,
And
you look at everyone in the crowd, and it's like they'd seen a ghost. Like, they couldn't believe it.
Bro, that's insane.
Crazy.
We had your mum on for 10 minutes before. How are you finding it as the mother of the Lambros running the length of the UK?
Look, I find it a very stressful, anxious journey. We don't know what's ahead every day. I find it really tough watching the boys running while they're injured. Like, every day there seems to be some new injury. Stefan's got a knee injury, an ankle injury. Some car had him up on the road on the side and he couldn't move and twisted his ankle. Lockie's got this injury to his leg where he's got a stress fracture in his leg. The physio's asked him to get a MRI and he's gone against all health records and not getting one at this stage. And Lockie's also got blisters, sun blisters all over his fingers.
Where does it come, the grit and the determination to do a challenge like this?
I think it's all mental toughness. When they were young, my husband and I, we pushed and pushed and pushed them. They played a lot of sport. They played a lot of team sport with mates. So they learnt to become very resilient and tough and, you know, get to the end and win. They want to win. They're very competitive boys. And I think their mental side will get them over the line.
So, as a mother on the emotional side, does it break your heart sometimes when you just see them putting everything into something for other people? Because they're doing this for Cancer Research UK. They're doing this to spread that awareness and to raise that, you know. Like, what does that feel like as a mother?
Look, it's their passion, and as a mother, I have to support them. Look, both boys have got degrees. They gave up their degrees to do this. They ran across Australia last year. My husband and I watched them on all these podcasts, on all these shows, and watching them injured every day, it gets to your heart, and you feel for them, and you think, geez, I wish I could chop off my knee and give it to them.
Yeah. So they can run. Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's really, really tough, and it's hard to see your kids go through this, but they're so headstrong and determined, and we don't want to get in their way, and we support them in every step of the way. So it has its challenges every day. You know, we've all struggled in this van, this motorhome, with the four of us moving around and getting lost and not having any internet and Google Maps sending us the wrong way.
Oh.
You know, like, we've been right out in the middle of the mountains with no internet and trying to navigate our way through a foreign country that we've never been to. So it's not easy.
That is what life is about, though. Mystery after mystery, trying to solve everything and setting yourself a challenge, which to some people would be impossible.
Yeah. And look, I find it hard with the roads. I don't know the speed limits and I don't want to get fines, and there's other things that we've got to worry about. Where's the next petrol station? Where's the next supermarket? You know, because it's unfamiliar territory. We don't know where we are.
Look where we are now. I'm from the UK and I don't even know where we are. We're in the middle of nowhere.
We're in a beautiful treetop, kids' treetop.
A beautiful treetop, and we're just sitting here. The wind's blowing, the sun's out, and the lads have just got back. They're going to eat some food, then they're going to jump on.
Yeah, and then they're going in the ice bath to recover.
Lovely. See, I knew I should have got you on. That was lovely.
Oh, she would have been on here for an hour and a half if you let her.
Talk to me about your mum while she's not here. Talk to me about her. Like, she's with yous on the challenge, supporting yous. She hates the fact that you're injured.
Yeah, she does.
She hates the fact that you torture yourselves by challenging yourselves. But she's here, loving yous. Come on. What's it like to have a mother like that?
Yeah, it's quite incredible, the support that she gives to us. And like, I guess, all young men have with their mum, they always look at the side of her that clashes. But we always just try to look at the positives, and at the end of the day, she's our mum. She loves us. She's out here supporting us. So we're just super grateful for that. There's been, you know, I think a few moments of clashes and arguments on this trip.
100%.
Yeah, when you're in such a confined space with your mum.
Your brother.
And it's interesting, though, because then all of a sudden she sees, like, for example, the other day, Locke was really struggling with her shins. And then you look at her and it's like, she's almost in like a panic state, like crying that Locke's upset. And you're like, well, deep down, she actually like loves us. You know, she's... And yeah, there's definitely been a couple of funny arguments with Dom as well, our support team. The coffee got hidden. We had the limited water supply, so we had to be scarce on water. So she's an interesting character, but we love her.
Is the biggest argument between yourselves?
Oh, we do argue a little bit, but actually surprisingly not that much. When you're both just kind of like suffering, it's more just numbness.
Relatability.
Yeah, relatability.
Videographer disagrees.
Videographer disagrees.
They're lying. At least minimum 3 before 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe for us it's not really like a spaffle, but for others it is.
Yeah.
But we move on really fast. We have like a little bit of an argument, but I think we've both got like the same alignment and vision.
Well, brother, I do not want to keep you both for any longer. Nice and short. Good luck on the journey. Smash the rest of the challenge. And I'll leave your socials and that down below. Where can they find you? Tell everyone.
So you can find us at Lambros Army on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And like we said, we're out here trying to raise money for cancer research. We know everybody has been impacted by cancer in one way or another. So if you do find it in your heart, all the links in our bios to our social media has the fundraising page. So if you could donate, that would mean the absolute world to us. And that's really what's supporting us and motivating us to continue on with this UK run through all the suffering right now of running the marathon. But it's not just running the marathon, it's getting back to the motorhome and it's smelling like piss.
Yeah, I'll leave everyone on some final words just of wisdom from what we've learned on this experience. I really do believe that you can go faster alone, but you can always go further with someone else. So make sure you do whatever you need to do for someone else. Think of that special person and really push hard, because you are truly 1 in 400 trillion. You're very special. Just have a crack, smile, and live today like it is your last day.
Well done, lads.
Thank you very much, love.
Thank you, boys.
You're a great man.
Thank you.